right, so we got to talk about one of my least favorite topics, which is censorship here on this platform, and this platform meaning YouTube. Of course, people from all over the internet are going to be watching this because I post this on Minds, I post this on Bitchute, on LBRY, and of course, I am going to be getting a Rumble account. I'm going to be dedicating an entire day to uploading my entire library to Rumble, and that's going to be a blasty blast. I can't wait. It's becoming increasingly clear that YouTube is not going to be a place for the exchange of ideas. It's not going to be a place for open inquiry, fair and sober discussions. Google, which owns YouTube, has elected to censor lawful speech periodically and reliably throughout the years. To me, I'm noticing patterns. If you say something that is true, they are likely to censor you. So what comes to mind right now is people like James Alsup, Jared Taylor of American Renaissance, and of course Vincent James, the Red Elephant. And let's just throw in Nick Fuentes in there just because. These people speak honestly about very serious issues that are plaguing the United States. They invoke FBI crime data. They invoke other scientific information. And these people don't swear. They're not vulgar. They're not edgy. They're just speaking from their, they're just speaking about very serious issues from their point of view. And, these people are legitimate people. These are serious people. They got banned. They got censored off the platform. But keep in mind, YouTube has had pedophiles operate on this platform, generating millions of dollars for YouTube and of course themselves. Of course, I'm talking about oh goodness, the names escape me. But you also have child abusers like the Daddy-O-5 family. The Daddy-O-5 would abuse his children. There was substantiated claims made against him. And again, this is another individual who's made millions of dollars off the platform. That is allowed. But God forbid you invoke FBI crime statistics and you talk about the kinds of people that commit the violent crimes in the United States. Well, I wonder why that is. And now, of course, it's 2020. It's December, so just barely over a month ago, we had a very big election here. And there's some problems. There's some glaring issues with the election. And now having any sort of discussion or dispute with yourself or with anybody else on YouTube is going to warrant removal of the video and possibly a ban. According to this blog post, which has been archived, I'm going to leave a link in the description. I just want to highlight one of the most relevant portions of it. These people are not legal experts. They're not constitutional scholars. They don't know what they're talking about. But they're making some extraordinary claims here, and they don't understand how any of this works. But nonetheless, I'm just going to read this portion of this blog post to you. Yesterday was a safe harbor deadline for the U.S. presidential election, and enough states have certified their election results to determine a president-elect. Given that we will start removing any piece of content uploaded today or any time after that misleads people by alleging that widespread fraud or errors change the outcome of the 2020 U.S. presidential election. In line with our approach towards historical U.S. presidential elections, which is bullshit. For example, we will remove videos claiming that a presidential candidate won the election due to widespread software glitches or counting errors. We will begin enforcing this policy today and will ramp up in the weeks to come. As always, news coverage and commentary on these issues can remain on our site if there's sufficient education, documentary, scientific, or artistic context. Fuck you, Google. Fuck YouTube. Fuck Susan Wojcicki or whatever her stupid fucking name is. These people are disgusting hypocrites. They are liars. They are propagandists, and they are running cover and interference for Beijing Biden. Plain and simple, they are pro-globalists, and they are defending the pro-globalism candidate. Plain and simple. There's no reason to be doing any of this whatsoever. And you know what really upsets me the most is not the fact that they're doing this, but it's the glaring hypocrisy that came before this. Where was this policy when people were falsely asserting that President Trump was in league with the Russians? He subverted the electoral process by having spooky, evil Russians hack voting machines, do this and do that, and he was colluding, and there was no evidence for any of this. There was no tangible, concrete evidence for any of the claims that were asserted in the past 4 years in regards to Russians. We were subjected to this bullshit. The president was subjected to this nonsense. He was impeached over related matters, and it went nowhere. It was so unpopular, the Democratic Party didn't even bother mentioning it during their the Democratic National Convention. It failed. The Democrats they failed, and now they're using their lapdogs in Silicon Valley. They're using their lapdogs in the fake news industry. They're using their propagandists in pedophile Hollywood to ensure that nobody has the wrong opinion about this. However, if you have share this opinion, but about anybody else, it's okay. If you assert that President Trump, he cheated, he's an illegitimate president, you're allowed to say that. Of course they're allowed to say it. They've been saying it for 4 fucking years. Goodness, it never ends. It never ends. The hypocrisy, it stings, man. It sucks. What else can be said about this? What else can be said about this? They are censoring lawful speech. People who are skeptical about the results of the election, they are going to censor you. They are going to ban you. That is fucking insane to me, especially coming from a platform that has given the opportunity for child abusers and pedophiles to monetize their content. Those people are safer than somebody like me who has worked for the election departments, who understands how these things work, who knows that there were irregularities and anomalies that took place. And I am not the only one. LBRY is in danger. Robert Barnes and LBRY, of course. They do a podcast together on LBRY's channel. They're in danger. Six Hexenhammer is in danger. Razorfist is in danger. Richard Barris of the People's Pundit. That channel is in peril now because of the kind of content that he's done, the kind of analysis that he's done. This is an expert, one of the most reputable, one of the most reliable experts on what took place on November 3rd. The most honest. I can't say that about the Nick Cohns of the world, the Nate Bronze or Nate Silvers of the world. I apologize. The guy's a fucking loser. Can't say that about any of them, but all of us are in danger now because of our lawful speech, because of our opinions that are substantiated by the evidence that has been gathered by people all over the world, by legal experts, by firsthand witnesses. But you know what? We got to just shut up, get in line, and just accept it. And I refuse. Fuck this rule. I'm not going to bend the knee. I'm not going to submit. And that's it. I'm not going to be a coward about it. So with that being said, I am going to appeal to everybody to follow me on my secondary channels. I am on Bitchute. I am on LBRY. I am on Odysee. I am on Minds.com. I am on Twitter. I'm on Gab. And I got a Parler account that I got a link to, but I'm just too lazy. But my goodness, man, this fucking election stinks. And I'm not going to shut up about it. I'm never going to stop advocating on behalf of the President of the United States. Plain and simple. I was following Tim Pool on Twitter, and he makes a very interesting post. YouTube has clarified to me. You can still say Trump actually won the election. You can still claim that the election was stolen from Trump. You must meet 2 conditions for a video to be removed. You must claim widespread fraud or error and say it made Trump lose. So you can still say there is evidence of widespread fraud. You can still say Trump actually won. You cannot combine the two. What strange times we live in. Unfucking believable. 2020 is 1984. I can't believe this. You know what also upsets me? And it's just like, again, like YouTube is obviously, that's not my company, but the content creators that have made a name for themselves on this platform, that have accrued a large following, would be so damn loyal to Google, so damn loyal to the platform, and they would fight tooth and nail to protect it. Because there were advertisers, there were other mega corporations that were coming after YouTube because its content creators were competing with the legacy media, with the fake news industry. Because people actually trust people like Six Hexenhammer. They trust the Kyle Kalinskis of the world for whatever reason, but he's more trustworthy than CNN, than PBS, than NPR, so on and so forth. You know, you got people like Razorfist, The Quartering, Don't Walk Run Production, Matt Christensen. I could go on and on and on. All of these people are more honest, more reliable, and more fun to engage with than the shills, the disgusting globalists, and the legacy media. And, you know, it's upsetting. It's overwhelming. But you know what? This has created a demand for alt tech to rise to the challenge of accepting all these YouTube refugees, and they seem to be doing an excellent job. And the sites are becoming more functional. They're becoming more feature rich, and they're trending in the right direction. So that is excellent news. And so this is going to be like the second or third time that I say this, but to my fellow contemporaries, not just the political commentators, because I know a lot of them are already branching out, but to my gun people, the gun channels, it's time to pack up, and it's time to move the content elsewhere, because they are going to come for us. You cannot, I mean, they want to make it essentially like a violation of the rules to be in disagreement with what transpired on November 3rd. That is lawful under the U.S. Constitution. There's no law against being skeptical, but they are going to go after you and your livelihood. They will punish you. Plain and simple. And I know a lot of people like Brendan Herrera. Again, I'm not throwing shit. I love these people. I do what I do because of Brendan Herrera, Mr. Guns and Gear, T-Rex Arms, Such or Scooch. I apologize. I keep forgetting. Iraqi veteran. Donut Operator. There's so many others like Demolition Ranch. Goodness, there's so many. There's so many firearm content creators. I can't name every single one of them, but you guys are great. Paul Harrell. I'm here because of them. And a lot of these guys do not have any presence on alternative tech. I am an educational channel. I'm going to be doing content that already exists on here, but has been buried or censored or something or other. And I don't want to be the only one. I don't want to be the only firearm content creator on these platforms. I don't like that these platforms are kind of like echo chambers, and I think we need a broader range, a greater range of people with different experiences, and just a very diverse backgrounds. Of course, not diversity in the fruity way that the left likes, but like genuinely different people, instead of just these guys that are out, these guys and girls that are out there, and they're on the fringes and whatnot. And again, there's nothing wrong with the people on these all platforms. I love interacting with them. I mean, some of them are a little too, they're a little too forward for me, but God bless them. I got nothing against it. The only problem that I have is that I'm on so many of these platforms. I regret that I can't interact with every single person that interacts with my content, and I genuinely do want to. And I'm gonna try to in the future. Just I got some things to take care of. I will be making a Rumble account in future videos. I'm probably gonna do that on Thursday or Friday. I'm gonna dedicate an entire day to getting my entire library on Rumble. And again, it's for the sake of preserving knowledge. This is an educational channel, guys. And I hope that if you're subscribed to all these other content creators, let them know. I understand that it is going to be burdensome. It's going to be tedious, but the preservation of our collective knowledge is so damn important. In Google, Facebook, and Twitter, they want to dispense with it. They want to destroy it, because what we do hurts the globalist narrative. They don't want people to be self-reliant. They don't want people to engage in the act of self-preservation. They don't want people to champion these things, which most firearm content creators do. Most firearm content creators are pro-free speech. They are anti-censorship. They're not about this globalist stupid agenda. And the options exist. There are paths forward, and these websites are excellent, and they're only getting better by the day. Do not waste any more time. Get on there. It's tedious, but it's not hard. Peace out.